Hi guys, welcome to Prelims Affairs, where we discuss issues from Prelims perspective. Today we will discuss an important issue, that is loss and damage fund. This fund was set up in the recent COP28, that is Conference of Parties 28, under Unfccc, that is United Nations Framework Convention for Climate Change. Hence, loss and damage fund is a very important concept. Some factual dimensions regarding loss and damage fund that is important for your prelims is as follows. First and foremost, loss and damage fund was cleared on the first day of the COP28 summit, which is a huge achievement. What is this loss and damage fund? The loss and damage fund is meant to compensate those countries that are already dealing with the consequences of climate change. The fund has received commitments worth nearly $250 million. However, billions are still needed to compensate those countries that are already suffering from climate change and its effects. The World Bank will be the interim host for a period of 4 years. However, this fund will be managed by an independent secretariat. All developing countries are eligible to apply. The payments from these countries will be voluntary. Every country has been invited to contribute to this loss and damage fund. A certain percentage of the fund is dedicated for the low income countries as well as small island developing countries. So these low income countries and small island developing nations are very much vulnerable to climate change and its effects. Hence, certain percentage are dedicated to these countries. And Climate Action Network, this global network, Climate Action Network, was at the forefront for the success of this loss and damage fund. This Climate Action Network is a global network of more than 1,900 civil society organizations that is spread over 130 countries. And the main force of this Climate Action Network is a collective and sustainable action to fight climate crisis and with that achieve social justice. Hence, they were the proponents of this loss and damage fund. Now, to understand the evolution of loss and damage fund, we have to go a little bit back in the history of how it started and how it evolved finally to become successful in COP28. So if you have to understand the evolution, this is how it goes. It all started in 2013 in Conference of Parties 19 that took place in Warsaw. In 2013 in Warsaw, they agreed that they have to establish something called loss and damage fund to compensate for those countries that are already facing the effects of climate change in a negative way. This happened in 2013 in COP19 in Warsaw. Then the next was in 2019 in COP25 that happened in Santiago, Chile. Here it established something called Santiago Network. This Santiago Network is a network that was proposed to connect different developing countries together so that they can assist one another and we can assess these countries and what type of problems they are suffering. So this Santiago Network of connecting all those developing countries that are suffering from climate change is what was established in 2019 Chile in COP25. The next is COP26, that is 2021, that took place in Glasgow. There was a Glasgow dialogue wherein there was financing of loss and damage fund was discussed. And the next was COP27 that happened in 2022 in Egypt. Here a transition committee was set up. This was formed to discuss the funding mechanism and operationalization of loss and damage fund. So this happened in COP27 Egypt 2022, and finally in COP28 2023 that happened in UAE Dubai, the loss and damage fund was set up, which was finally a victory for the developing nations, those who are already suffering from climate change. So this was the evolution of the loss and damage fund. However, you should also be very mindful of what are the different things that happened in the most recent Conference of Parties 28 that happened under the ambit of UNFCCC in UAE Dubai in 2023. I hope loss and damage fund was helpful and you got clarity in this concept. I'll bring you more concept in the same lines. I hope you people will make use of it. I'll see you again, guys. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you again. Bye.